All right. Welcome once again to Safari za Mabingwa. Yes, this is that platform that we sit down with some of our champions and we get to appreciate them. We give them their flowers. We celebrate them. We tell the world what they're doing. And we are at the forefront trying to give them their flowers while they're still alive. It's a habit that most of our sportsmen in Kenya, when they're alive, we don't do so much about it. Okay, we give them a bouquet of flowers at the airport and that's it. However, in this platform, we're trying to rework that model and we're trying to do better. We hope that pia wewe penye uko pia you're doing better. Ukutana nao mtaani, appreciate unamwona sema ule nule anakimbianga, then you mind your business. Msalimie na heshima nini, because they're putting the country on the map. They actually market in the country and they're marketing you. And it's also among the biggest sources of income that we are working with as a country. For this particular episode, we've been honored to have a sit down with the gentleman who put together a couple of systems that was somehow going to help the sports industry in the country. But katikati, Gen Z wakasema, alafu sasa tena tumerudi. So I want to sit down with him and find out what was working, what was not working, what was the plan, where were we going? Were we on the right trajectory? Ama tulikuwa tuna gamble? Because there's so much that we don't know. And so much that we assume we know, but we don't know. I'm speaking about Waziri. Yes, that is Ababu na Mwamba. Karibu sana. How are you?
Niko salama.
Baka umepiga mpaka Team Kenya bado?
I mean, we are all Team Kenya.
Okay.
We are all the 50 million plus of us.
Okay.
We are Team Kenya proudly.
All right. But you're well?
I'm good. I'm good, enjoying my sabbatical.
I've seen umenona.
Kunona, I don't know, but at least I can say I'm relaxed and I'm feeling good.
You're glowing. You know,
enjoying my break.
Most of the politicians, when they are elected, wanakaa kidogo ama nominated, alafu unaona wanaanza kurust juu ya pressure. Unaona pressure, msema anaanza lose weight, nini ana realize. But you are the other way around. Is it because you have done it before? Ama is it because it's just who you are?
I mean, it's just a journey. And the journey of life has its moments.
Okay.
It can give you a moment to sit in a public office. It can give you a moment to sit in a private office.
Okay.
It can give you a moment to chill out in your private space.
Okay.
So it's all about taking everything in your stride and
right.
enjoying each of those moments along the journey of life. And I have mastered that. I also have the gift of goodbye. You know the gift of goodbye?
No.
The gift of goodbye is being able to say, I have had my time here.
Okay.
It is now time to move on. And you move on proudly and without any regrets.
Oh.
Without hangovers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's called the gift of goodbye.
Utafuti closure. But now you know how those things. It's fine. We move on this direction.
Move on, yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You have been a minister for sports twice now?
Yes, I've had the privilege to serve my country in the decade of sports twice, under Kibaki during the coalition government, and again under the administration of President William Ruto. It's kind of a privilege.
Okay.
Yeah.
Between the Kibaki regime and the William Ruto regime, which one do you see you are in the right space to do better as a minister for sports? Which one is more easier to deal with? Was it then? Is it now?
I would say that every situation, every circumstance is unique. It has its own peculiarities. You would say that on both occasions, the time I had in office was perhaps not long enough to see the fruition of some of the measures you put in place. During my time in the Kibaki administration, for instance, I joined cabinet towards the tail end of the life of the coalition government.
Okay.
But I still had the opportunity to do some phenomenal things. And what comes to mind and what I'm most proud of is that I was able to get the Sports Act enacted. Forever, Kenya had been operating and managing or administering the sporting space without any law and without any policy.
Okay.
In the period I was in office during that time, I prioritized to put in place the Sports Act. So the Sports Act is actually my creation. And because I was also a member of parliament then, I was both a minister and a member of parliament. I had the privilege to appear in parliament myself
And defend it.
and move the motion
Okay.
for the enactment of the Sports Act. And I remember one of my last acts during the life of that parliament on January 15, 2013 is when we got the Sports Act enacted. And it has brought a lot of important clarity in the management of sports. And accompanying the Sports Act, we also got the sports policy to be enacted. Okay. That is a big achievement for me during that time. For this time, it has been more of putting in place measures to elevate sports to a level where it can be taken seriously. Because again, while sports is without a doubt the biggest export this country sends to the world and the best branding platform for Kenya, we haven't necessarily given it the stature it deserves, both in terms of financing, in terms of the seriousness with which we treat it. And so during this time, I have made effort to correct that and put in place certain things. Okay. Also to sort of institute certain measures that should have been instituted many years ago. For instance, I'm very proud that I was able to put in place within 1 year of coming to office.
In the Ruto regime?
In the Ruto regime.
Okay.
Kenya's first ever sports infrastructure master plan. A master plan to guide the country on how to develop infrastructure. And it is under that master plan that we are constructing the Talanta Sports City, which is the first international level stadium in Kenya since Moi constructed Nyayo and Kasarani 40 years ago. So for 40 years, we have just been sort of all over the place.
Yeah, not to go to international stadiums zingine.
Come on, it's atrocious.
Okay.
And an insult to the intelligence of Kenyans, how we had reduced the stature of sporting facilities in this country. Now you have things like Wanguru International Stadium.
Yeah. Even Mambuleo Pale.
You have Kirigiti International Stadium in Kiambu. You have Jomo Kenyatta International Stadium, Mamboleo in Kisumu.
Yeah.
Now, Obina, the only international thing about those things, because even to call them stadiums sometimes is to insult stadia. The only international thing is the word international in the name. But other than that, really. But on a serious note, we needed to do something. And we did it. We put in place an infrastructure master plan, which is really revolutionary, that even categorized what should be the standard of an international stadium, what should be the standard of a regional or county level stadium, and what should be the standard of what you're calling community grounds that people can use at that local level. And to demonstrate what an international stadium is. Okay. I spent time myself with a technical team to design the Talanta Sports City. It is a football-only stadium, the only one of its kind in this region. And in this region, I mean the Eastern Central Africa region. It is a 60,000 capacity seater, green stadium, all the modern, all the high-tech, all the tech-savvy capabilities are built in that stadium. I can't wait to see that stadium completed because it's going to take Kenya's sporting infrastructure to another level and set the standard. I see a lot of people getting excited by something that some neighbors have done in the neighborhood.
Just say Rwanda.
I want to tell you.
Just say Rwanda.
I want to tell you, by the time Talanta Sports City is completed, nobody in this region will be able to hold a candle to Talanta Sports City.
So that's your project.
I'm very proud that we were able to do that.
Okay.
Okay. And it is ongoing. But even as that goes on, we have also been able to put resources in a number of regional facilities to upgrade them. The Buhungus of this world, the Masinde Muliro, Kandui, and other places, revamping places like Ruringu in Nyeri, just to make sure that even as you do this international level stadium, you are also taking care of the regional spaces. We have also put significant resources in the 2 international stadia the country has had for the last 40 years. So Kasarani is closed, is undergoing mega renovations. Renovations are also going on to to Nyayo. So number one, I am very proud of what we've done in that infrastructure space. Number two, Obina, I inherited a crisis of monumental proportions when I was appointed minister 2 years ago. That crisis was the mess in the relationship between the country and international federations.
We had been banned.
Football was suspended.
Yeah, we had been suspended. Yeah.
Swimming was suspended.
Oh.
Athletics was on the verge of suspension.
The doping situation.
Because of the doping situation.
Okay.
Now, in a record 1 month, we were able to sort of take charge of that space. I met Mr. Gianni Infantino, the president of FIFA, and we were able to unlock the suspension on FIFA, bring back football. I engaged Lord Sebastian Coe, the president of the IFC, and even invited him to Kenya. He came to Kenya in January 2023. I arranged for him to meet President Ruto. We held very good meetings, and we struck a deal that saved Kenya from athletics being suspended or banned. And you know, athletics is really the bread and butter of Kenya's sporting heritage internationally. So if athletics had been banned, we wouldn't even have been at the Olympics this season, this Olympic season. We also engaged World Aquatics and got the suspension of Swimming Federation. And the swimming sport in this country had been in limbo for 7 years. We got that lifted, and we were able to get our swimmers to Paris.
What was the issue with the swimming? Because the last I remember in Akina Jason Danford, remember when I was young, then I was just Danford, well. They were doing very well. Yes. Then it disappeared. I've never heard of any other Kenyan
then
swimmer.
Then we ran into governance issues, which is one of the biggest challenges facing sports in this country. Governance in the sporting federations. And so I'm also very proud that that space of cleaning up the relationship between the country and international sporting space was sorted out. And because of that, we've been able to participate in international competitions like the Olympics. And we have even qualified a team to the FIFA World Cup for women for the first time in history. And now, third and final, Talanta Hela.
Yep, let's talk about it. First of all, let me just put it out there before we begin this part. I don't understand Talanta Hela. I don't understand how it operates.
Talanta Hela
I just saw it happening.
Thing.
I was just like, okay. So, before tufike huko juu, nataka tu we break down pole pole. Talanta Hela ni nini? Ilikuwa inapanga kufanya nini na ikafika wapi? And even now that you're no longer in the sports space, is Mheshimiwa Murkomen gonna do the due diligence? Ama tena mambo itachemuka tena Murkomen sasa launch yake sasa Talanta Marakwet.
Talanta Embubud Forest. No, absolutely not. Okay. I have done... First of all, Murkomen is such a fantastic friend, a colleague and a comrade, many respects. We even went to the same college for our postgraduate studies. So we are actually college mates. We did our master's degrees in law at the same school. So we have a long history together.
Okay.
If you had asked me to choose a successor among my colleagues in cabinet, I wouldn't have gone beyond Murkomen. I certainly would have picked Murkomen. Because I know his passion for sports.
Okay.
He's a sports person himself. He has tried to break my record at Bunge FC. I was the top. I still hold the record of the highest number of goals scored for Bunge FC. Murkomen came close, but not quite.
Oh, okay. I didn't know there was. But speaking of
I have no doubt that Murkomen is a good fit for sports. And I have no doubt that he's going to be a big success.
He'll get the work done.
Yeah, he will.
Just before we get Talanta Hela, tuko hapa kwa the new CS.
Yes.
So, let me test the waters.
Yes.
When you are called, were you called about, ni aje, mambo imechemuka? Ama ulitumiwa SMS, was it an email? Ulikuwa wapi?
Sasa wewe Obina, unataka tu nifunue boss wangu hapa on live TV.
Si unasema tu mimi nilikuwa Paris, nimerelax na kula mojito, nimerelax na watu wangu.
No. I was at home with my family.
Oh, in Kenya?
Yeah. I have not been out of the country for quite a while.
Okay.
I don't travel that much, by the way.
Si wanasema ilikupata Paris?
No.
Mpaka hata muka exchange flight na Murkomen, ukamwambia ni aje? Hii na kama nani unarudi nayo?
By the way, for the record,
yes,
I was not even going to go to Paris. Yes.
They said you are distributing your people with the money for the nini. Sema mama alikuwa anaenda na flight ya athletes, mukeka athlete moja akae standby, mama akalie business.
No, that is
for real.
Hizo ni stories za X.
Za jaba.
Stories za jaba za X. The Olympics came at a time when we were in the midst of serious austerity measures.
Okay.
And I had even announced this when I took the team to the president for the flagging off.
Yeah.
And I announced, I made it public that we are going to take a very lean team to Paris. I had made it very clear to the National Olympics Committee and the management team that was doing the oversight for the preparations for the Olympics. I had made it clear to them that we'll take a very lean team. And I informed them that I would be leading. I would be the symbol of the leanness by not traveling to Paris myself. So I was not going to go to Paris. Even if you were to ask the team that does the flight reservations, hotel reservations, because all those things are done way in advance. Because as you imagine, Olympics brings the whole world to a city. Yeah. So if you don't reserve hotels in good time, you just can't get space. If you don't reserve tickets, air tickets in good time, then the cost just escalates. They will tell you that they have no single reservation for Ababu na Mwamba, either for a flight or for a hotel. Okay. And by the way, talking about family, I travel a lot privately with my family. So I take my family pretty much all over the world, but from my pocket. I don't need a taxpayer to pay for a trip for me or my family to Paris or any part of the world. Yeah. I go to these places. God has been gracious to me. I can afford to do it, Obina.
Okay, it's fine. We get the point.
But now let me come to an important question you posed.
Yes.
Whether I believe that my successor would continue with the kind of measures we have put in place, like the infrastructure master plan, Talanta Stadium, the Talanta Hela initiative. And I can tell you that I have no doubt that this will continue, because government is a rolling stone. Government is a continuum. What you do when you're in public office is not for you, it's not yours. It's for the public. Is in public interest. And when your time comes to exit, you hand over. And one of the things I did, and I believe I've done very well, is that I prepared fantastic handing over notes, over 60 pages of handing over notes that detail every single point where each of these projects are, progress, challenges, and what they need to be taken to the next level. That has been handed to my successor. Yesterday, I saw my successor post, we follow each other on social media. I saw my successor make a post on his Facebook handle, and he was proudly announcing that he has met some artists who are visiting from the US, and he has briefed them on 2 projects, okay, which are the flagship projects of the ministry. And he proudly mentioned Talanta Hela and Who's Next project. Talanta Hela and Who's Next are two sides of the same coin, as I will explain. So Murkomen is number one, a good fit for the ministry, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. And secondly, he has plugged into the momentum we have already built.
Okay.
And he can only now take it to the next level. And he has my total, unequivocal support in that respect. Okay. We consult a lot. We exchange ideas. If he needs my input in anything, I offer that without reservation.
Okay.
Talanta Hela.
What is it? Let's talk about it. And how much has been spent there so far? And how much has come in?
We have actually spent very little on Talanta Hela. Talanta Hela, Obina, is 2 simple Swahili words. Talanta, meaning talent, Hela, meaning money.
Yeah.
So it's about turning talents into livelihoods,
Okay.
turning talents into income, making your talent count, making your talent support you, your family, your community, and your country.
Okay.
And so when we conceived Talanta Hela, we wanted to consolidate that space of sports and the creatives in such a manner that sportsmen and women and creatives can earn well from their talents. Because for far too long, this country has really not honored our talented citizens. We celebrate them when they're winning medals for us, but we never really take time to wonder, besides the glamour of winning a medal on the track, what next? What happens after that? For many times, and we'll talk to legends like even Paul Targat, Dr. Paul Targat, the president of the National Olympics Committee. He'll tell you previously you'd win a medal at the Olympics, you land at JKA, they give you some sip of mursik, they put some garland around your neck, then you jump into a matatu and go home.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that is how bad it has been previously. You saw the other day, we introduced changes. Number one, if you break a world record. When Faith broke her first world record, Faith Kiptum, last year, she arrived here, 5 million shillings, 3-bedroom house, never seen before. We raised the scale of rewards to our world beaters because we have treated them poorly before. So for the first time ever, you can go at a world record, aware that I break this world record, 5 million is in the bank, and a 3-bedroom house is ready for me. We did that with Faith Kiptum. Okay? We also revised, in fact, the entire reward scheme. I completely turned it upside down. Previously, you won an Olympics medal, and you got home and you were given 750,000 Kenya shillings. I tripled that. Actually, we raised that also to 5 million. Okay? We raised the reward for silver medal. We raised the reward for bronze medal. We revised the rewards for participation so that even when you're in Kenya, you're training to go for the competition and you're out of the country and participating in the competition. Previously, you'll be paid like, I think it was $75. We raised that $300 per day while you are in competition. That is an allowance per day to cover your training period. So we have also revolutionized the space of rewards. And we also adopted a system where we can start honoring our sportsmen and women and creatives through national honors. Kiptum has been given a national honor. He was given a national honor during Mashujaa Day last year. Okay? People like Eliud Kipchoge have been given honors. We renamed the former Kericho Green Stadium. We renamed it after the first Kenyan to win an Olympics medal, Wilson Kiprugut Chumo. That stadium is now called Wilson Kiprugut Chumo Stadium. To send a message that even in terms of honoring the memory of our great athletes, sportsmen and women, we should talk the talk and walk the walk.
Does Faith still live in the house? The 3-bedroom? She still got it?
Pardon?
The 3-bedroom that she was given, she still has it?
It is her house. Where would it go? It is her house.
Are you informed that Kiptum's wife was already kicked out of that crib?
I am not aware of that. And if that has happened, that would be really, really tragic. Because let me tell you, Obina, and when you manage young people, you develop affection for them. Kiptum was like a son to me. I was devastated when we lost Kiptum in such terrible circumstances. I have no doubt that if we had not lost Kiptum, a gold medal in the marathon at the Olympics was guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. And I went out of my way, both as a minister and as a human being, to stand with the family of Kiptum in that difficult moment. And not just Kiptum, even the family of his coach, Hakizimana. Because 2 days before we buried Kiptum, I traveled to Rwanda myself to lay to rest his coach. and to deliver support, 5 million shillings support to his widow and his family. I went there to say, I mean, even President Kagame called me because he was really touched by that gesture, that I actually took time to go, to spend time with the family, to lay the coach to rest, and then we came to lay Kiptum to rest. So the Kiptum situation was very difficult. And if anybody does anything to undermine the honor, the respect of Kiptum's family, that would be really tragic.
Yeah, so there's
tragic.
There's a rumor that the wife has been kicked out of the...
Kicked out by who?
Of the
by
relatives.
Strangers,
The relatives.
By Kiptum's relatives?
Yeah, by the relatives, and also now she's really struggling.
I'm not aware of that, but it's something I would look into.
The CS is your
even
friend?
In a personal sense.
Yeah, please do so.
I will.
So that we can also confirm that she's fine. And,
but Obina,
yeah,
I'm making a commitment.
Okay.
Anything that touches Kelvin Kiptum's family, for me, it's personal.
Okay.
And good thing that my good friend and brother Kipchumba, that is also his home county.
Yeah.
Elgeyo Marakwet.
Yeah.
So besides being the Minister for Sports, I believe this is a matter in which he would take very personal interest in. Okay. So certainly after this show, I am on the phone with Waziri Murkomen. Nimwambie iko maneno huko. Angalia hiyo maneno so that we can sort out and protect the family, the widow, and two amazing children.
Okay.
But there's something you asked to be now. I don't want us to lose track of it.
Okay.
Kenyans have this tendency to lay responsibility on government for everything.
Yep.
So there is a problem with kit. There's a problem with ceremonial kit. The minister must say, what happened with this ceremonial kit?
Mulishonea watu vitenge. Lakini.
We'll come there.
Okay, we'll come there. Okay, hapo kwa vitenge
Okay. Tutaenda huko kwa maleso.
Mogi yo. Zile ziko za drama festival. Okay, it's fine. We will come to that.
Hey there, friends! Welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child.
than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays at 8 p.m. The Grind, where business meets brilliance. It's not just about the ideas.
I was working as a shampoo boy. I used to wash clients' hair in the sink.
It's about making them happen. From big wins.
In primary school, when we would be asked what people want to be, I was categorical that I want to be a nurse.
To hard lessons.
The consoles change, the gaming equipment keep changing.
We cover it all. Tune in to The Grind, where every episode is packed with insights.
The person who is serving customers, always be a customer-centric.
Strategies.
When you pay attention to detail, you get luxury items.
And stories to fuel your ambition.
Okay, so responsibility is on who?
Responsibility.
Yes.
You know, sports is a space of shared responsibility.
Okay.
Collective responsibility. And it is so important for the public to understand who bears what responsibility.
Okay.
Government is a policymaker. Government oversights, and government is a facilitator. But the actor, the frontline actor in sports, is the respective sporting federations. If you take the Olympics, we've just come back from the Olympics. The agency, front, center, back, sideways that is responsible for the Olympics is the National Olympics Committee of Kenya.
Okay.
President Paul Targat, Secretary General Francis Mutuku, those are the people who manage the Olympic space.
Okay.
They set the timetable, they prepare the team, they do the logistics, make sure hotels are booked, flights are done, okay, athletes are prepared, and everybody is ready for competition.
Okay.
So whenever, and even the kit, make sure the kit is prepared, okay, the kit is delivered. Even when it comes to sponsorship, like you must have noticed that the Team Kenya kit is a Nike kit. It's because the National Olympics Committee has a deal with Nike. So if you say you've noticed shoes that are not of the right quality for Team Kenya, the National Olympics Committee must tell you under the Nike deal, because it's them who signed the deal. Government has no role. And this goes all the way to the IOC, the International Olympics Committee, coming all the way to affiliates like NOC. NOC must be able to tell you, when they inked the deal with Nike, what quality of shoes did they pick for Team Kenya? What quality of kit did they pick for Team Kenya? Okay? And because these international federations are very protective of their affiliates, they have something, they have a rungu they normally call government interference. So when they see government sniffing around, starting to ask a question, IOC tells you government interference. These amounts to government interference. That's how Kenya was banned by FIFA. When Amina said, there seems to be a problem here with the FKF, let us sort out a few things. What did FIFA do? FIFA did not bembelezana with Amina. No, they banned Kenya. That's how they do it. And because these local federations know that, they engage in a lot of impunity. They do a lot of actions. They know we will mess up with Team Kenya ceremonial kit. No one will come for Paul Targat. No one will come for Francis Mutuku. Everybody will go for Ababu na Mwamba. Because in the Kenyan psyche, Kenyans believe it must be Ababu who bought this uniform.
We knew. I was like,
he's the Minister for Sports. But now let me educate you today.
Okay.
The ministry has absolutely zero responsibility other than to offer guidance, to offer advice. But when it comes even to procurement, even procurement for tickets, it's not the business of government. Government can offer financial support. If today, and I'll give you a simple example, in a bid to cut costs for our Olympics team, I negotiated with Kenya Airways. A special ticket rate. Okay. Alan accepted. He even wrote back to me because I formally wrote to him as minister. He wrote back to me, he made an offer. Okay. But after we gave the resources to the responsible body, they decided they're not interested in that deal. And I kept on asking them, guys, why are you not taking this deal? Why don't you want to partner? Oh, KQ, they might delay us. Oh, there might be this and that. So when a federation makes that call, the minister cannot take a rungu and tell them, guys, if you don't fly KQ, you are not going to Paris. No, they will tell you, but we have the mandate to prepare it in Kenya. And they told me, they told me, Waziri, you know, if we fly KQ and this flight delays somewhere and or our athletes arrive at JKIA and KQ announces a delay in the departure and the athletes are at the airport for 8 hours, you know, Waziri, is going to be messy and you are the one who is going to be under fire. So just let us handle it and find the right kind of flight. What are you supposed to do in such a case, Obina?
You mind your business.
Carry a rungu?
Kusema, hey, pambana nayo.
So, we pambana, lakini sasa kukiduka.
Ni we bado ndo unatandikwa.
Sasa we waziri, we waziri amefanya hivi. So today I want Kenyans to know that federations carry a lot of responsibility. And because they know Kenyans are obsessed with the government, Kenyans only hold government responsible. They don't hold any other person responsible. The Kenya Volleyball Federation did a very silly thing the other day. Kenya has had a long-running agreement with the World Volleyball Federation where they give technical support. They give a grant, they give coaches, and Malkia Strikers has always had a Brazilian coach under that arrangement. Dudes sit down, decide, we want to cancel this arrangement. And why do they want to cancel the arrangement? Because they want to appoint themselves to be the ones to manage the team, because Olympics is in town. People must go to Paris, okay? And show up and feel good and have fun. So they cancel the deal. The president of the federation appoints himself the team manager. Wow. Obina, I have a letter that in the wake of that, I wrote to all federations to tell them there must be separation of responsibilities. You cannot lead a federation and again manage the team. And again, you want to be the arresting officer, everything. You want to be the investigating officer, the prosecuting officer, the jury, the judge, the executioner, and even after you have been the executioner, you want to be the undertaker, okay? How?
So that's what has been happening in the federation?
Not has been. That is what happened. You call it modus operandi.
Yes.
That's what happens.
Oh, wow. Is that why we don't have small sponsors for our sportsmen? Like you find like there's like a unga company, there's like a shoe company in Kenya, there's who decided and say, let's support this team. I sit here with most of our athletes and I realize the things they like are very small. We have one javelin that is used on the Olympics, only one in the whole country. And that thing is less than 20,000.
Let me tell you, Bina, if we fix two things in our sporting federations, accountability, so that you have federations that are accountable for every penny, for every resource that comes into their possession. And secondly, governance. You have federations that run corporate style.
Yeah.
You know, I have a 2-term reign, 4 years. If I'm re-elected once, 8 years, I go home.
Done.
I hand over. And when I'm in office, I know that I am holding this office in public interest, in trust for the public, in trust for the sportsmen and women. You fix those two things: accountability, governance. The corporate sponsorship that will pour into sports will be absolutely phenomenal. I have, in the 2 years I've been in office, I have talked to pretty much every corporate that matters in Kenya. The KCBs, the Equity Banks, the CFAO Motors, the Lotos of this world. I have talked to them about supporting spaces in sports.
And they're willing.
They tell me we would be more than happy to support Waziri, but accountability, governance. Okay. Nobody wants to put their hard-earned profits in an opaque institution that does not even have books of accounts, okay? Or that has cooked books of accounts.
Oh, wow.
You must, and I'm telling Kenyans, you want our sports to grow, you must hold federations to account. You must hold federations responsible. This obsession with the minister, you're going to start bashing Murkomen tomorrow the way you have been bashing Ababu. It will not take Kenyan sports anywhere. You are chasing the squirrel while the antelope is galloping away.
When you got in, you requested for elections and you even taken to court.
Yes. I demanded elections for FKF. I demanded elections for Athletics Kenya. I demanded elections for every federation. But what do? The moment elections are called, they sponsor someone to go to court and they secure an injunction. AK today is injuncted. It cannot hold elections. And the last time they held elections was during the reign of the former president of AK, the late Isaiah Kiplagat. Those elections happened while I was minister in the Kibaki administration 11 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So you have people who have been in office and they just have no intention. They have no plan. They have no desire to leave office. Okay?
And also not do better.
The other day I was talking to FKF, my people at FKF, and I was telling them, guys, under the Sports Act, you can't do more than 2 terms. You guys have already done your 2 terms. What is your succession plan? And you know, Waziri, if you come too hard, FIFA will ban Kenya, government interference.
Oh, wow.
FIFA will ban. In fact, FIFA has said, if you push this thing too much, we might just be banned again. You see that kind of balderdash?
Yeah.
Okay. And that is why, among the things I have initiated, and I'm confident my successor Murkomen will conclude, is a review of the Sports Act, so that we align the Sports Act with some of these international statutes, and we hold federations to higher standards of accountability and responsibility. The impunity that goes on in sporting federations is unacceptable. And when that happens, it is sportsmen and women who suffer.
Yeah.
And so I'm asking Kenyans, the same way you hold government accountable, and you must hold government accountable. After all, government is the custodian of public resources that belong to the taxpayer.
Yeah.
Hold government to account by all means, but also hold federations to account. Hold federations to account. Let the football federations tell you how they're spending their money, how they're conducting their operations, how they're growing talents, how they're growing the sport. National Olympics Committee should be able to tell Kenyans how they prepared it in Kenya, how much they were given by government, how much they were given by sponsors. Because normally they will tell you what government has given them, but they'll never tell you what sponsors have given them.
That's true.
Because sponsors also put in a lot of resources.
Yeah.
There must be a balance of what government has put in and what
and where they went.
And where these resources, how these resources have been applied.
That's true.
If everybody takes their responsibilities seriously, the potential in this country is incredible. Our return to the HSBC series will not be the last one. Our qualification to the FIFA World Cup, the under-17 women, will not be the last one. It will be the first of many. Our hosting AFCON in 2027 Another landmark I'm very proud of, by the way, Obina. This is the first time Kenya is going to be hosting AFCON. Not only did we get the ban lifted, but in the same year, we won the rights to host AFCON. It's unheard of. We will host AFCON.
Are we going to be ready?
We will be ready.
You're sure?
Oh, yes. I have no doubt.
You're sure?
Tumeweka mikakati kabambe.
Haya, mumetenga pia si tumetenga data. Pia pia sisi tumeweka data kabambe ya kuingia X na kuwapangua.
Sina shaka. Sina shaka
hauna
hata kidogo. Sina dukuduku ya kwamba
hauna bugdha.
Kenya itafaulu.
And we'll be ready.
Kuwa mwenyeji sawa sawa wa AFCON 2027. It is a priority. It was a top priority for me. I know it's a top priority for my successor, Murkomen. It's a priority for the president. It's a national priority. We must make it happen.
Oh, the kit.
I mean,
hizo vitenge.
I was roasted to heaven and hell.
Yeah. Lakini honestly speaking, as we all know, it was worth the roasting. We just didn't know who to attack.
Now let me tell you on two things. I was roasted on two things which was absolutely unwarranted.
Okay.
Number one was the list. Waziri
umeandika list.
Waziri tunasikia mabibi zako
mpango wa side,
mipango za hapa na pale na kule na huku.
Mepeleka kina baby girl waende waone Olympics waka business class.
Now
athletes wamekaa kwa boot.
Number one, Obina, I'm never excited. I mean, I'm a well-traveled man. So trips don't excite me.
Okay.
And I travel anyway. I go on vacation every year with my family. So if you tell me going to Paris is something that would excite me, you just don't know me. Okay? I mean, I can go to Paris. I can pack my bags now. I hold a 5-year visa.
Okay.
And anytime I apply for visa, I have a 5-year Schengen visa, which allows me to, I have a 5-year US visa. I can travel anytime. And as I have said, I had already determined that in terms of leading from the front for austerity measures,
we're not going.
I was not going to Paris. I was going to flag off the team at JKIA, and I was going to be at JKIA to receive the team back. Okay? And so this whole story of family and that, there's no way my family was going to go to Paris. My family has been to Paris countless times. Countless times. They didn't need Olympics to go to Paris.
Okay.
And the list that people were hankering for was not even ready, because the list is finalized after you conclude the qualification. And qualification runs over a long period of time. You'll remember that athletes like Julius Yego qualified very late. We were even trying to qualify Angela Okutoi for tennis, and we were really scampering to get her to acquire the right level of points by putting her in a lot of competitions. In fact, that same week that the Olympics were supposed to be starting, she was in Algeria, participating in a championship, and we sent her to a lot of competition to see whether we could get sufficient number of points to qualify her. And so at the time when Kenyans were really crying for this list, the list was just not ready because the qualification process had not concluded. And I wrote a letter to NOC. I told them, because NOC are responsible for the list. I told them, as soon as that list is ready, make it public. Make it public, let Kenyans know who is on that list and who is not. And they did, actually, indeed, after the list was ready. To their credit, NOC convened a press conference and made the list public. Okay. And as people could see, the list was really predominantly a list of athletes and their coaches and their managers and physiotherapists and doctors and all that kind of stuff. So I believe that it was the right team that was going to the Olympics.
Okay, so tumetoa.
The second thing was the kit. Luku. Lakini sasa Wakenya wanajua waziri mwenyewe yuko na luku.
But who approved that?
Si mimi ninajua luku. Wewe Odina.
We were amazed.
Sasa wewe.
Sababu wanakuanzi wa luku.
Sasa tunaweza amgushi. Now this is what happened.
Okay.
This is what happened.
Okay.
And this is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing
but the truth.
But the damn truth.
Damn truth, all right?
We wanted Team Kenya to have a ceremonial kit that reflected the spirit of Kenya. So we asked NOC to run a national competition. As government, we committed some resources. We gave them resources. We gave NOC some resources to run a national competition for fashion designers to dress Team Kenya. They ran a competition. They picked what they believed to be the best designs. And the team they put together to run that process for them is a team which I believe to be competent. It was led by people like Connie Alwatch, okay? People who really, as far as the fashion design space is concerned, they have made a name. They know their thing. So after these designs came out, they actually came to present them to us. What you call renders, the designs. So we looked at the designs, we had some reservations here, we made our input, they went back, we told them after you completed the adjustments, then do the production. Now they took forever to do the production. On the other hand, they were insisting, please ask the president to flag us off. So when I asked the president gave them a date of July 5. I told them the president is ready to flag you off. The day the president was flagging them off, because I told them, that kit you have produced, it would be amazing for the president to wear it as the head of state and as the country's diplomat number one. Okay? So I told them, I want to see it before we take it to the president. So they delivered something to me. They actually delivered 2 pieces. They told me, hii ni ya rais na hii ni yako waziri. I took one look at that stuff. And I told them, nah.
Like a day to the launch?
The day of the launch.
The day of the launch?
Yes, the day of the launch.
Oh, wow.
So, and this stuff was brought to me by the Secretary General of the...
Oh, make a staff.
It's a staff, actually. I don't want to call Mr. Francis Mutuku, the Secretary General of NOC. He should come here, actually, so that he can explain.
He it himself.
I mean, it is a NOC process.
Okay.
So I looked at that stuff and I said, no. The quality of the fabric, the production, the
outlook.
I told him no.
Yeah.
I told him no. This Haitoshi Mboga. In fact, I told him, Kenyans will roast you for this. I mean, little did I know that actually the roasting will be Ababu's. So he said, you know, Waziri, this thing has been done in a hurry. I told him, hurry or no hurry, we must get it right. Okay. And by the way, they can sit on this couch and corroborate what I'm telling you. I told them this cannot go public. Surprise them. And I even told them, don't you guys have the Nike kit? For the flagging off by the president, ask your team to wear the Nike kit. Hizi zingine, rudisheni kwa fundi. Kama huyu fundi yuko Ngara ama yuko Kibra. Wila alikuwa fundi man, lakini hakuwa fundi Frank. Kwa fundi Frank unamda pesa job. So I told them, please return to sender. Shock of shocks. Tuko State House.
That fundi was not frank
about no. Tuko Ikulu. Sinini sasa ile the athletes are walking in. And I could see, I say, oh, it's good. The athletes walked in the Nike kit. Okay, that honeycomb, the honeycomb kit.
So far, everything
is good. I say, oh, these guys have listened to me. Hizo vitu zimerudi kwa fundi. Shock of shocks. In the middle of the event, I see athletes walk to the front. You know, I held my hand.
Uko like, ma, yo, kwisha.
Obina.
Umekaka na president.
Waswahili wanasema kilicho mnyoa kanga nini. You know, I was sitting next to the Kirinyaga governor. who is also the chair of the Council of Governors, Anne Waiguru.
Yeah.
And told me, Waziri, what is this?
Waiguru akaona akakwambia, "We?"
And I said, Mayo, what is this goodness? These guys actually went ahead and released those things. And now, a beautiful ceremony that was supposed to be like the highlight of Team Kenya flag off was then reduced to a conversation about these half-baked products which we had rejected.
Okay.
Long story short is that I was very upset.
What did the president say?
Of course, I explained to the president the situation. Obviously, he was not impressed. I invited them to dinner immediately after that ceremony at State House. I took the whole team to dinner at the Marriott, at my cost, by the way. It was not at the public's cost.
Okay.
So I sat down with the team, and I even asked Connie Aluoch. Connie is really someone I hold in very high regard as far as that fashion space is concerned. And I told Connie, how could this happen? First of all, the production is completely lousy. And then to have the knack, the temerity by Francis Mutuku and his team to expose things which are obviously not ready.
And you had also discussed.
And we had discussed.
Yeah, they just disregarded you.
Impunity of federations. Impunity of federations. So I gave them instruction to take that stuff back. And credit to them. They took them back. They redid them. And what Team Kenya wore in Paris was pretty much what should have been. And I have no doubt that someone was trying to save some money, perhaps. Okay, and this is
to eat.
To eat.
Let's say it how it
Yes,
is.
someone was trying to eat something on these, and in the process shame the nation, because that is what it turned out to be. They brought shame on the nation, on government. Luckily for them, no one held them accountable. So the responsibility was misassigned to people who had nothing to do with that mishap. Olympics committee team, the team of Targa, Tanmutuku, and all those fellows. Let them explain to you what exactly happened behind the scenes, how they had the audacity to even approve those productions, that they even deliver those things for me to take to the president. The president didn't even see it because I told them this. I have them in my house to date. I said, the president cannot wear this, neither would I wear this myself.
What's next? What next for CS Ababu? Where are you headed?
I am on a very well-deserved
hiatus.
Sabbatical. It's not a hiatus.
It's not a hiatus. No. It's a sabbatical.
It's a nice sabbatical, Obina.
Okay.
I'm taking a sabbatical. I've not taken a break for a long time, by the way. I was just looking back at my life since I entered Parliament. I entered Parliament as a 20-something-year-old young man.
Okay.
And it has been a relentless march.
Okay.
This is the first time actually I'm taking a little sabbatical.
You wake up at noon.
And guess it, I'm enjoying it.
Amuka saa 7 hivi. Amuka tu 5.
This stress-free, relaxed sabbatical, it looks good on me, doesn't it?
But for how long?
Briefly.
Yeah.
Briefly, I'll enjoy it while it lasts. I have given myself a couple of months, but I'll be back pretty soon. I'll be back in that in circulation pretty soon.
Okay.
For now, wacha ni kule hii break.
Kula break, enda Paris.
Paris, here I come.
Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Use the hashtag Hesabika na Mabingwa. Thank you.